Hello YouTube again, it's robotavico.com talking about the formidable Garmin Forerunner 910XT multisport watch, and this time in part 2 we're talking about actual timed workouts and then all the variations thereof. Here's my local park, which is roughly 1 mile from where I currently reside. You know, there's a lot of different terrain here, so you've got roads, hills, straights, curves. So on the second day of my road testing the 910XT there, it's taken a minute and 2 seconds standing here in the middle of the park for the signal to be found, which is good. Now again, this is where I'm going to be doing some of the laps and some of these splits, and this is where I'm going to be testing the watch. So this is me turning it on for the very first time in the park with some tree cover, as it was noted there, and that took around a minute and a half in total. There's a standard display. You see, this is in the field, so you can see how clear it is, and this is me adjusting things for the workout. It's important to note this in the field because you will end up doing this. You know, you will end up adjusting your settings in the field. Can you see how quickly that does it? The Timex is rubbish, absolute rubbish. I can adjust whole digits and whole numbers just by pressing up and down buttons, but you see it accelerates the numbers. This is an important point here. So that is just for, you can see the distance alert. This is me again in the field adjusting the auto scroll function. If you don't think that's important, just please bear in mind that the information that you get during a run is one of the reasons why you're buying the watch. When you name a workout, you can do so with capitals or with lowercase spaces. The Garmin does that for you. They assume that you're going to do lowercase workouts, and then you can name it. Just so easy, this very, very easy and very empowering as well. Once you've done your workout, of course, you do it, edit it, and then delete it if you want. Run walk mode is a mode where you will essentially do a session then relax by walking. Okay, so it's a particular kind of mode which I haven't seen implemented on any other watch apart from the Forerunner 610. Let's just take a look at this again. 4 fields there and very, very viewable. There's a timer that was deliberately set during this workout, and you see how the tones are different there. It now says walk for 2 minutes, and fundamentally it's you know, it gives information according to what you're doing there. Now I have to do some more running, and it's updated. All this information here is in real time, you see. Here are the speed alerts. This is an important point. I was speeding up there deliberately. It's still telling me to speed up, and I'm now going along, and I'm deliberately going where I will be a bit too fast, and it's going to tell me to slow down. There you go. So you see what's happening. The tones are very slightly different, and you have to get used to them. But this is a very, very powerful feature in desired zone. Again, you know, to repeat it, this is what happens. Here's an example. Can you see at the top left of the first field there that says 18 minutes a mile? I'm deliberately going slower than 18 minutes. It's 18:01, 18:03. Speed up. You see what happens? So again, of course, that's in walking mode. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to take these images. The scrolling here is, I believe, at medium pace, and it's going along nicely. But can you imagine running along? You wouldn't necessarily be able to see all those things at once. I like the idea. There's a virtual partner that's in black. It means it's slowing down. There's a finished workout. Okay, it was pre-programmed, of course. I'm coming up to my second lap here, testing the auto lapping. So coming down to the road, this is just a very short, like, I don't know, 400-yard circuit. There you go, exactly the same point. Amazing, fantastic. So this is where the Garmin is really starting to shine for me.
There's your mark and lap for you. So I've basically been going just to the bench there next to the car, and then coming around here, and like a 90-second circuit, nothing too strenuous, just a bit rolling, enough to send my pulse up to like 140 or whatever, and then stopping out this barren patch, and it did it exactly as I'd specified. Again, well done, Garmin.
We're now going to look at some of the automatic functions here, which are completely hands-free. So here's the auto pause function. This was set beforehand, but here you can see that it's starting and stopping based on my pace. Right, see it says auto resume. Now here are the alerts, and they are set in advance, but once you do that, then you get told on the watch what is happening. Here is a time alert, for example. This is probably 45 seconds. That's in the park there. And what we have now is a distance alert from up to point 2. I'm actually complaining that it's not appearing on the display. Then there it comes up, and the tone is different. You see, you do have to get used to this stuff. Here is a time example saying run until that key. Now, can you see what this is? This is an open session. So I'm basically going to run along with that pace. It is a slow one. It's like a walking and running pace one. But I press the lap one, and then I've just done that, and it says run until 100 calories. That's the next step in my open workout there. So no target, but the targets can be stored. Also goals can be stored. That's on Garmin Connect. Recovery heart rate, that happens after 2 minutes. Now then, here we have the basic menu again, and what we're looking at here are the laps. This is in the history mode. The history is stored in terms of activities. Now here's an interesting screenshot right there. Remember that, okay? That is the first shot you get from any activity, the averages and the maximums. You have then the choice of whether to view the laps as well as the map. Now we're now going to see a map shot. There it is within the park, exactly as I predicted, because it's going from northwest to southeast, and that shows that I did it correctly.
And then lap 6 is going, and it's telling me that.
The swimming accelerometer inside the Garmin 910XT is very much of note, because it is the first time that a triathlon based watch has included this, and to access it you simply, as with the shortcut that I mentioned previously, press the bottom left button. Here's an example of an open water swim mode. That includes the GPS that was available on the Garmin 310XT, but this is different because it allows you to measure swimming strokes indoors, and there you can see me simply setting the full length, which it needs to do of course in order to detect laps.
So just been for a short swim here, only about 100 metres or so, but enough to test out the device. And what we see here is the time, average pace and distance, 112 metres, like I said, only a short one. The metrics are already supplied to me, but I can vary them, you see, as soon as I go to swimming mode. Again, that's for intervals, which I didn't do, just the effectively 2 laps of the pool, and then more interval metrics. And lastly, see, I find this really interesting, strokes per length. It's correctly calculated what I've done. That's thanks to the accelerometer inside the watch. Very clever stuff, this. Swell score is the number of strokes plus the time, which is supposed to test swimming efficiency and last lap strokes. Great stuff from Garmin there. As of right now, it's saying 33 feet to the course. Time to the course, 33 seconds. So this is where I finish the course. So it's giving me a profile right there. Off course, enter. Course found.
Let's take a look at what's happening with the metrics here in the courses mode now. As you can see there on the top left, you've got the distance to the end with a checkered flag there. The time to end on the right is what you have left in real time. The distance to the end is essentially as the one above, and the course time is what was done previously. So in other words, you always want the one above to be lower than the one below. Going off course is no big deal. It actually tells you when it's happening, and this is done just for a few seconds and then it gets back on course. This can be very, very sensitive.
It's in the afternoon now, and I decided I'm going to reproduce the virtual race here, but this time in the city centre. It's pretty busy right now. It's like the rush hour. I'm surrounded by traffic, people, pollution. So we select Park PR, which is my name for the workout I did this morning. And it says do race, so the data are exactly the same as in the park, but of course we're at least a mile and a half away from the park now. So we're going to start this and I'll see what notifications come up on the display. There you go. Alright, I'm pleased about that. It did the race, it simulated the race, the distance and everything else. That really pleases me. Now, just to test the training effect, I'm going to start the stopwatch and walk for 5 minutes back home and to supper. And I'm going to see what the training effect is just walking along at walking pace, because it really should be a lot higher than 1, given my heart rate and also the amount of effort that I put in today. That's the whole point of the training effect, to calculate all that stuff.
Here's the virtual partner, and you've seen this a few times before in this watch review. The virtual partner is often matched to the courses, but here I've set it to a pace, and now it's at 100% and then at 40%. If it's at 40%, it means that I'm essentially much slower, and so I can be ahead much easier, and yet here I am stopping and it goes to the black bar quite easily within a few seconds. Again, this is a great way to measure your pace if you're just being easier in your workouts. The compass, which is part of the GPS functionality, is very sensitive, and as you can see, that number at the bottom right shows the time, and it's calculating that it will take to get to the course. The map is shown if you want it to be shown. It doesn't have to be shown. In what I call a coffee shop scenario after the race, there's the actual shape of the course that I did, which is a mile down the road, and you can scale this. Now, I don't know why it allows you to scale it when it actually doesn't do much with it. It doesn't allow you to navigate around the course, for example. But there you can see, for the lap, the actual drawing of the course, and there's something that involves me just walking around afterwards. Again, this functionality is very, very powerful, more or less like a sat-nav, I suppose. And on your wrist, there's the option there that simply allows you to show the map if you want it to be shown, and various other options.
From left to right there, 3:46 on the Garmin, 3:30 on the Polar, and 3:31 on the Timex. There you go, 1,177 feet. The altitude gain it says is 775 feet. Okay, that's from the original workout. So it's all very clear there in black and white on the LCD there. So anyway, it says for the calibration 1160 feet, and still shows 1177 there for the Garmin. So within 20 feet, that's good enough for me.
When you get used to what I call the workflow of this device, in other words, how it basically operates and how it sends and receives data, it's very, very slick. The Garmin is, of course, wireless, and it allows you to send and receive data very, very efficiently once you've got all the software installed. And it's very, very transparent in how it does is it doesn't kind of confirm that it's downloaded something. It says so on the computer screen, of course, but you really want it to be telling you that on the watch. For me, whether it's wireless or not is not an issue. I mean, it should be wired actually, because if you're plugging the thing in to recharge it, why not do so through that kind of connection as with the Global Trainer. Anyway, you can see here that a course has been downloaded. It's called Running New York. It's not named by me, it's named by whoever uploaded this thing to GarminConnect.com. And there you go.
About 1 mile from the mountains now, just ahead of us there. So I've just done a warm-up run there, about 724 feet. Pretty steep, but I'm used to it, and training at effect of 2.3, that would dramatically increase, so the effort wouldn't be as much, but the effect would be, because I'd be pushing myself to the same level but for a longer distance. That's going to be tested in this virtual race scenario, which I'm finally looking forward to, because the weather's actually just fine and I'm basically ready to go, but I'm not fit. So that will be another good test of the training effect. I'm about halfway through with my so-called recovery run after the first run, and the run itself, what will really test me, is just a few minutes ahead, but since I'm here at this clearing, I think I'll save that as a waypoint. This is within the GPS menu. It says save location, and that shows me exactly what it is, and I'll now press OK, and then I'll check that on the way back. So this for me is the toughest point of actually the whole of the review of this watch. Past this point there's a switchback, and it goes up there and all the way along, effectively south as well as east, and then ends up over there. So the very last part of this review for me is to do the course, and here we're going to see just what happens, the training. Virtual racer. Here are 3 runs I got sorted out. There's Running New York, right, in Manhattan. Wish me luck for the next 90 minutes and 32 seconds. Exactly at the top of Three Up Mountain. Unbelievable. I beat it. I beat that guy from Manhattan. 125 or so ahead of him. I think I'll stop it. What a workout. I thought I'd actually be able to run 2 or 3 minutes beyond me. summit that turned out not to be the case. I was going steady after all. I was certainly approaching exhaustion as I finished. What a view, this is worth it. Elevation 1448 feet, that's more like it. There you go, 140 now, 27 beats lower. It was so 167 2 minutes ago. We're going to test the training effect for the a walk like straight afterwards, where the pulse is going to be relatively high. But I think I'll start when the BPM is about 115, and then I'll deliberately let it go down and then see if it's any lower. Because what I'm saying is that because of the effort involved, even if the pulse is lower, the training effect is going to be the same. Okay, because training effect is about effort, not about heart rate. I'm going to go for a 1 mile walk now, and pulse is 117. Let's see what happens and what the training effect is. And then next time we test it, it's going to be like between 105 and 110, I hope. In other words, towards the base of the mountain. The training effect is 1.1, even though the pulse is fairly low. It's under 120. The pulse is varying between 120 and like 108. And the training effect is still the same. So even strolling along, you know, I'm completely in breath here. I'm not out of breath at all. It's saying that, you know, an average walk is still going to be testing. Showing 1.1 already. So let's just go for a quiet, nice stroll. See what happens. Just approaching the 1 mile mark here, and going for a flat walk in the park. Very flat, completely relaxed. Pulse is 108 though. But look, that's the key thing. The training effect is 1.2. It's higher than normal, higher because of the effort. 98. Walking very, very slowly here. 99.
Garmin's Training Center is software that you download from Garmin and you keep it on your PC or your Macintosh, and you use it essentially as a training diary to store workouts, uploading and downloading from and to your watch. The key thing is that the watch can also upload automatically either to Training Center or to Garmin Connect. Okay, so you don't need to be online when you're using this software. Here you can see some sample workouts. These are, as it were, pre-programmed for you. You can see how clearly these steps are laid out there. When you add them, you can see that's all in plain English. This is what I love about Training Center. And there you can see some sample workouts, and here's the key thing. It's all very, very well laid out, and then you've got all these various options for how you perform a step and how you organize the intervals. Training Center offers some powerful features for analyzing and storing your workouts. Here we can see some lap splits displayed there with all the relevant stats. The views can be changed as you like. For example, I'm pressing a simple button there, there's a route, and now here are the stats for that particular route. And here's one useful aspect. You can simply scan along there and then see, in this case, what the heart rate is according to time. This is another very useful and empowering feature. We've been talking throughout this review about all the workouts that I've done, and now it's time to upload them to Garmin Connect, which is where you can see the true power of the device. Now, as you can see there on the website, you've got the Ant Agent and Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect is the website, free, and you simply log into it. You create an account, as it were. The Ant Agent is simply a small piece of software which you download. The software, I think, is fairly slick. It's slicker than, for example, on the Timex Global Trainer. I make constant comparisons because this for me is a reference point. I own the Global Trainer. As you can see here, this transfer of data is automatic, and it happens actually quite quickly. This is the swimming workout, for example. Now, this is very, very slick. It says untitled. I can entitle these workouts however I want. Here you can see a close-up of the map from one of my adventures in the mountains there, and the data there are very, very comprehensive, as you can see. Here we can see the training effect for the descent from the mountain there. As you can see, it's very, very low, which is what I would expect. Now the training effect for the ascent, much, much higher, of course, because it's testing me. That, again, it's down to effort, not heart rate, because it just goes up and up and up according to how hard you're running. And then adapts itself over time. Here are the overall stats for that particular workout. And now you can see that it's graphically laid out there, very, very clear. And you can even play it. This is what I just love, including on the map there. You can now change for the bottom part, whether it's to do with distance or time, and then on the upper part according to the metrics there. Again, very, very nice and clear. Well done, Garmin, again. I've had over 10 weeks to play with this watch, and it's mainly been an amazing experience, far eclipsing my Timex Global Trainer. But what's ironic is that it won't even tell the time, and it doesn't have an alarm. That's why the score there for the watch functionality is relatively low. But when we talk about the flexibility of the timers and such like, this watch is the best in the world, I believe. Also, the GPS and mapping functions, as listed throughout the review, are very, very tight. And then lastly, of course, when we talk about the workout storage and the integration with the internet, then this watch is very, very strong. I feel a little hesitation in giving this watch 9.5 out of 10 because of that. Thanks again to Garmin UK for the loan of the unit. Thanks for watching, people.